Welcome to the 2.5 Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
And I'm Pablo. Bro, I just noticed, I'm sorry, the environment's going to have to take an L on this one, but plastic straws need to be a thing, bro. Look at that. That looks like it looks like your straw needs Viagra.
I'm not going to lie. Alicia has been a huge proponent against paper straws.
I hate paper straws. Nobody likes paper straws.
Now, and after watching Seaspiracy, we 100% are, we know now that the straw shit's cap.
Is it? I don't know. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
I had seen some of it. What had happened was what they were pretty much saying is what people do is act like we're the ones doing shit, right? So they'll tell us, you guys need to be using paper straws because of the environment, and look at that turtle that was snorting coke that one time. Like that whole situation. But then you find out, oh, wait, it's not from the straws. The straws are like such a minute portion of everything that's going on, and it's all the commercial fishing. It's all of the...
Oh, yeah.
You start realizing, like, they're the ones who are throwing these nets in the water, who are fucking up everything else.
Like, whenever an oil spill happens, for all the oil shit that they do in the ocean. Mm-hmm. Like...
Apparently she's got a plug. Whenever she goes in the morning to a certain... to, like, a certain barista, they be hooking her up with the plastic straws.
You're not dry stitching?
I mean, they got the plastic straws in the back somewhere.
But you're not dry snitching on the establishment?
Oh, I'm dry snitching on the establishment 100%. Shouts out Black Rock Coffee, to be honest. That's the spot. Mind you, and we're not sponsored, but what I will say is that from 4 to 6, they have happy hour where any medium drink is $2.
Oh,
so I'll be pulling up with a $2 latte
yeah.
from 4 to 6 to get me that evening boost.
Yeah. Bro,
That's the wave.
So we've been taking a break. Because we have a new season coming out,
and we're really, I think this is going to be a kind of
this
trailer
is a conversation. We're just talking to you guys.
I really think that we're the 2.5 citizens. There's only been 2 of us, and you're about to turn into like a full citizen pretty soon. And
Amara took her citizenship test.
Wait, took hers?
She was a resident.
Okay, I'm confused now.
So Avara was a resident. She just took her citizenship test last week. She passed. So then she's going to become a citizen in like next month probably.
I thought she was a citizen too. I thought she was saving you, dog.
She will save me. But like I hate she keeps being like, you only married me for papers. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Like
I mean, I'm just saying, dog. It's convenient. I'm just saying.
I made it more difficult for her because she was like in the interview, right? And then she was like, "So, any changes like that you've had since your application?" And then she's like, "Oh, I just got married." And then she's like, "Okay, like, what's your husband's immigration status?" And Elvira was like, "Oh, no." She goes, "Is your husband a citizen or a resident?" And Elvira goes, "No." And then she goes, "Well, what's his immigration status?" And then Navarre goes, "Well, he's got DACA." And then all the red lights went off in that lady's head. She was like, "Well, did you guys have like a big wedding or like a small wedding?" And then like afterwards, like Navarre was like dissecting questions, and like she was like, "This bitch was trying to think we got married for papers."
100%. I mean, yo, it's in every person's mind. Like,
wait, no, Paul.
You know the story about my grandma, right?
I don't know the story about your grandma, but before we get into that, I want to talk about not the worst movie. It's a good movie, but I hate this movie with a core. The Proposal.
Is that the one where they travel?
The Proposal is with, I forget the lady's name, and Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
Where she is an immigrant from Canada who, her work visa is terminated. She forgot to like renew it. They were going to deport her ass, so then she tries to marry her assistant, and they commit like, basically like citizenship fraud.
Okay.
But like the whole time, like there's a scene where like this white lady goes in white ladying it up, and she's like, I'm not a real immigrant, like I'm white. You know, she literally, those are words in the fucking movie, bro. And she's like,
it's a comedy, right?
She's looking at everybody like they smell like, bro, like this movie is pretty old, so like it wouldn't, like you could not do that today. But like, bro, I fucking hate that movie because of that. Because
it's like, oh, I'm not a real immigrant. I'm a white person. Y'all should let me in.
Yeah. And then they're like, you're right. Sorry.
So the thing, like, I went R.I.P. Grandma.
R.I.P.
Before all that, I'm pulling up her favorite combinations in life were Hershey's chocolate and Coca-Cola.
Okay.
She needed some Hershey's chocolate and Coca-Cola. So I pull up to a Walgreens.
That's really Mexican.
Really Mexican.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up to Walgreens. I'm getting her a Hershey's and I'm getting her a Coca-Cola. She stays in the car with Alicia. Mm-hmm. At this point, Alicia starts talking to her. They're just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. This lady goes and starts telling her about how Alicia and I, mind you, we've only been dating like maybe like a year or two in. Like we were getting serious, but we were still early on in our relationship.
Sure.
And she goes, I think you guys should get married. And we're like, she's talking to Alicia.
Yeah.
And then she's like, what? She's like, yeah, I mean, I know maybe you guys don't have like the money and everything to have this big wedding right now, but I think you guys should just hurry up, get married in the court real quick. And then afterwards, you can even keep it a secret from everyone. Like, I won't even tell nobody. She's like, I'm like, oh,
She's
like,
plotting for y'all.
She's like saying, yeah, because, afterwards, maybe once you get some money, you guys can announce to everyone that y'all are married, have like a big party or something like that. But it's just, you don't know with the way that Trump is and stuff right now, with the way that things are going on in the White House. And I'm like, Grandma, she's legal. Like, what are you talking about? Like, even her was like, yo, real quick, you ought to just get married, get her some papers real quick, and then keep it moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you just going to put me out there to be just getting people papers like that and then just assuming because she's more Hispanic, I guess, in a sense, than me, that she doesn't have papers. By the way, was just having a conversation with her yesterday. Mm-hmm. She was like, I thought I was whitewashed. I'm like, what? I'm like, if you thought you were whitewashed, you must have been in for a rude awakening.
Like, did he think I was Caucasian then?
I know at that point, she's straight up, like, in her mind, I'm Caucasian. Like, that's how she sees it.
That's so funny.
Like, in her mind, she's a Hispanic girl with a white dude. Like, that's how that's how it feels.
That's how it feels?
I mean, my parents have almost had, like, a layer of whitewashed on them that then compounded with us.
Yeah. But, dude, that I remember, like, well, it like pissed me off when she was like telling me all this, and she was like, yeah, like she like was asking me all this stuff about you, and she's like, well, what does your husband do? And she's like, well, he like does this and this, works for this company, and then, I was like, well, like what was her face? Like was she like being like, oh, okay, cool? And she was like, no, it's just straight face, like trying to see if I was lying. And I was like, oh my god,
dude, that's so crazy because I mean, and I don't.
Yeah, she was like, did you have a wedding planner or like a coordinator? And Elvira was like, well, we had a coordinator. And she's like, well, what's the difference? And Elvira was like, well, we kind of planned everything ourselves, and then the coordinator comes in at the end of the month and then just like does the last minute details. Like she was just trying to be like, are you capping? Like, did you actually get married?
Yeah.
And she was like, did you have a big wedding or a small wedding? And Elvira was like, well, we were planning, like this size, but a lot of people couldn't make it because of the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. We ended up having this number. And the lady was like, oh, that is a big wedding. And it's like, bitch, we're not lying. Like,
it's just so funny because, like, I
get it, but damn.
It's weird because you do have to think about that stuff. Like, when I do things, I don't think about... The only time that I feel those types of pressure is, like, when I get pulled over. When I get pulled over, immediately, it's all these fucking questions. Especially, like, coming back from my grandma's funeral.
Oh, yeah.
I was in my parents' Tahoe. And it was like I was coming back in at like 6 o'clock.
You're in a tinted Tahoe.
A tinted all black Tahoe.
Driving back from Brownsville.
At like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So
we're not saying he's a narco, but...
But I get pulled over, and their excuse for me getting pulled over. Want to hear the fucking excuse?
What?
My parents have an Astros license plate holder.
Oh, and it was like covering...
It was covering a little bit of Texas.
No, they do that shit.
And so they'll say, yeah, no, that's covering part of the state. That's a problem. And all this kind of stuff. So then I have Roman in the car with me.
Yeah.
And I start getting all these questions about where I'm coming from, what I was doing over there.
And Roman forgets he's brown. Roman would be the type of guy that'd be like, I pay your taxes, buddy.
Yeah, Roman's in the side way younger than me. They're asking me his relationship to me. Yeah. They're asking me what he's doing. I'm coming back from a funeral. Where's the rest of your family? They came in a separate car. I had to pick them up from school. Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? Houston? Like, but you see the fucking Astros thing.
Yeah.
Like, just constantly. I mean, I answer all the questions. I do what I got to do. But every time I'm like, God damn, like, because they try to catch you like with random things.
Yeah.
They'll just pull
It's
up to
like
the
the
kids.
little stuff that
they'll pull up to the kids and be like, where do you go to school? And they'll just like ask them stuff like that. And then anytime you get asked a question, you can ask me how old I am on the spot, and I have to think.
Yeah.
It's just scary. I'll be like, oh, fuck, how old am I?
I don't know. Yeah. No, bro.
But-
So when I get pulled over, 10 and 2, yes sir, no sir, and bro, the second like I don't even play. Like the second the cops like getting out of the car, I just like go into my pocket, put the wallet on my lap, and again 10 and 2 and yes, bro, ID.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like, yeah, let's do like the thing, but then I start realizing that for me, I do all the yes or no, sir, but I don't want to seem like this is a hostile thing. I kind of want to try to be comfortable, but respectful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be comfortable. It's like, bitch, why the fuck you pulling me over? You know I ain't even do shit.
Yeah, no. That's how you get your ass beat.
But I want to be like, what's going on? Like, what's the problem? What did I do? I want to know. Okay, this and that. All right. And then, but just be like, I'm starting to try to find that balance. I'm just trying to not get pulled over anymore. But, you were there the first time I ever got pulled over. What a nice memory.
That you want to get into that?
Oh my fucking God. So for starters.
The year was...
Shit, I mean, I get...
2013.
It was 2013?
Probably. No, it was 2012.
I just got my license. So whenever that was, I graduated in 2014. I got my license when I was 16.
You were
so it had to been
sophomores.
it had to been 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little younger. Mm-hmm. But so I have my license, and for the first 6 months of you having your license, you're only supposed to have one person in the car.
Yeah. And
that person is supposed to be 21 with a license.
Uh-huh. and you're only supposed to drive to and from school, to and from work, right?
Yeah, I think there's some, I don't remember if it was that much as crazy, but it was something like that.
You also had the glasses restriction.
I had the glasses restriction because I was wearing glasses
all of
around
this stuff will come back around.
So we're going to Easy 7, the skate park. Well, Watonga Park's actually the skate park, if we're going to be real.
Yeah.
Easy 7 is just that little concrete area in the back.
Yeah.
But we're going to the skate park.
Gentrified. Even that got gentrified.
It's so wild, right?
Yeah.
Dude, we'll get into another thing that happened, which I'm pretty sure you had to have been there for that too. But we're going to Easy 7. We're going a bunch. All of the skater kids, which, to be honest, looking back, not even my friends, right? I'm thinking back to it. I probably hung out with them maybe 1 or 2 times after that situation, maybe a few sporadically or whatever.
Yeah.
So we have the entire, all the crust punk skate kids in my car. And I'm in a truck, which has 3 seats in the back, 2 seats in the front, then a seat in the middle that pulls up and turns into a seat. Yeah. And we have every single one of those seats packed.
Yeah. All the skateboards in the trunk.
All the skateboards. And I am...
skateboards and backpacks.
Yeah. I'm driving and I'm on a turn lane and then someone says, no, you got to go straight.
That was me.
And so I was like,
that
okay,
was me.
Fine.
I felt so bad when I told you to go straight.
So I go straight. Yeah. And the second I go straight, there's a cop in the parking lot behind a tree. And all he does is just come straight out and just pulls me into the parking lot.
It was on I-10 on Hollister where...
Yeah. Right
by where the IHOP was. Bro, I felt so bad.
I pull up there and I'm like, this is my first ticket.
Yeah,
and then he starts looking at my license and sees the restrictions, sees all the fucking people I have in the car.
Somebody whispered to me at the end. Someone says, bro, I have weed on me.
So I hear that afterwards.
Yeah.
So one kid slips his seatbelt on real quick because they didn't have one on. And I'm like, all right, let's see what the fuck happens. He starts telling me all this stuff. He's like, you have more people in here than you're supposed to, but I'm going to let you get away with that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have glasses. I mean, no contacts on right now because of your glasses restriction. I had no contacts on.
Yep.
And then he goes, but I'm going to give you a ticket for going straight on a turning lane. And he does all this and that. As we're leaving, one of the dudes in the back is like, I have weed on me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, bro.
I'm like so stressed. I'm like, because at that point, my dad came from a different part of life and stuff. So he would always be like, not even knowing that this happened, you got to be careful. You with a bunch of people, someone has weed, someone gets scared and just pushes it in between the seats, and then they search the car and it's in your car, it's on you. And I'm like, fuck, like you don't think about that type of shit.
Yo, you really don't. Like being out of it, being adults now, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
we could have all go to jail.
Especially when I'm saying that the reason I even specify that these weren't really my friends, I don't really think they'd be like, we got to protect the homie. 100% they're going to do their thing.
You were not the homie.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like, I think about like all the stupid shit we did and then like, I don't know how we like escape things like that. Like now that I think about it, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Because like I there was also a time when I was a senior in high school, and I remember like I had already gotten into SFA, like school was about to end, or like we were like halfway through the year. School was about to, or I think school was about to. I don't remember the fuck was the timeline or anything.
Yeah, the specifics, but
either the spring semester already started or was about to. Who cares? And I go into the bathroom, say hi to our like some skate friends that like at the time I really didn't talk to anymore. So it was just more of like, hey guys, what's up? Blah 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 blah. So I wasn't gonna stay there like hanging out with them. I just kind of like peed, washed my hands. What's up? Yeah, peed, washed my hands, and then like dipped because they all like came in. I was like washing my hands, and they all came in. And I was like, oh shit, what's up guys? Haven't seen y'all forever. Yeah, we need to go skate. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, when you gonna come out skate, bro? You don't come out skate no more. I'm like, yeah, you're right, bro. I need to come out skate. And then like I get out of the bathroom, and then as I'm getting out the bathroom, APs and the cops are like walking in. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's weird. And then like they go into the bathroom and they get all of them, and then all of them get sent to like the alternative school because they had like weed on them and stuff.
God, dude, they were always on that shit. It's so crazy. Like, I'm just trying to wonder. Like,
I'm like, bro, that could have been me. Like, I was like,
100% could have been you. I'm just thinking back. I was like, I must have been mad annoying. Because, like, I'm just trying to think back, and I'm like, dude, I must have been a lot.
Like, what saved me?
Right? I'm like, good thing I didn't like get involved. But I'm like, there's some other annoying people that were just in that group. They were just a weird like.
I kind of think I don't know, bro. Like, I've been thinking about like what saved me. Like, how come I never got involved in like bullshit? How come I never? And I've realized that my parents raised me to be kind of a bitch. Which is why I never fought. Which is why, because I was like, I'm not gonna put myself out there. Like that's gonna hurt. They're gonna hit me. Like,
and I think my parents raised me. Well, my dad was always like, it's weird. You would think I might get into some shit, but also.
But your dad was in that world, so he was like, no.
So I was kind of like, I don't want to deal with that shit. I think I turned away from that.
Yeah.
On top of that, my dad also made me be so skeptical of everything and everybody. Yeah. So I was always kind of like, I didn't really like believe people's bullshit. And the second that I started seeing like, oh, they're doing this type of shit or they're like that, I would kind of be like, I'm cool. I also started realizing like, as much of a bitch as I was also a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because like, I would be like a bitch and then be all scared and then like, be mean to someone who was mean to me.
Yeah.
Like, that was one thing. I was so petty. Yeah. Dude, I was the fucking pettiest. I remember oh my gosh. Are we going to talk about this shit?
Just go.
I was this one skate dude, and him and I were super cool at first, but it was kind of like he didn't really have a bunch of friends, and I was always like, oh, well, let me hang out with this kid. I hang out with this kid. We start hanging out all the time, and then he starts meeting all the people that I'm skating with that like we know and everything like that. And he kind of
but I think you met him before you met me, didn't you? Or like you guys were cool before you and I were cool.
Maybe. I mean, I had just seen him somewhere skating in the neighborhood. So like, I don't know like what the timeline was, but we're hanging out and all this kind of stuff. And he starts like meeting people and he starts kind of finding his own path or way of people and people that relate to him. And I'm like, that's cool. And when that happens, all of a sudden he starts kind of like switching up on me, where like he would try to talk shit about me, about something that I wear, about because I noticed I've always was like I would wear this and that, but I would always kind of like, what's my thing? What's my this? And so I start trying to experiment with stuff. And this dude would be trying to like, it's one thing if you're with the homies and you're like, bro, what's that ugly ass thing you wearing?
Yeah.
It's another thing if I'm not there and you're telling my friends shit about me. So when I find that out, it's like my friends are not going to come to me and be like, yo, dude was talking shit about you. The second that I found that out, I just did the opposite. I just started talking shit about him to his face in front of people. Like, I would talk shit about him.
Wait, I remember
with
this.
him next. So like, if you were like,
I remember this. I'd be like, damn, bro, what the hell?
You would be him, and I'd be talking to someone in front of me and be like, dude has that ugly ass fucking hat because he thinks that he's cool. He thinks that that's actually gonna. Like, I would just be a piece of shit in front of him, so I could be like, at least I'm going to do this in front of you. If you want to do something, say it in front of me. Say it to me.
I remember that. I'd be like, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, you'd be like, what's up with you? And I'll be like, and then I'll tell you later, I'm like, he thought that he could. And and that's when I realized I was like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm kind of a piece of shit. But it's also like, I'm not a piece of shit unprovoked. It's just like, to me, especially in middle school, like I dealt with so much bullshit of people thinking that they could like push me around, thinking that they could do this and do that. And whenever I kind of found myself, I'm like, I know who I am. I'm not just gonna like let people say shit.
Yeah.
So then that's where it was like, I noticed I never fought with fists. I always fought with words. So that's why I kind of feel like I'm like a girl in that way. Like a girl, like if you're fighting with like an ex-girlfriend or something like that, they'll usually tell you something that'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
And that was me. I will tell you something that'll have you thinking for a bit.
Like I was talking about something like that with Ruben, where we were like, man, like middle school is brutal, bro. Like, I was like, yeah, bro, if you gave me $1 million and said, live your worst middle school day, you have none of the confidence you do now. It's for a day, you basically get to be that age, everything the same. You can't change anything. You just have to like relive it, and then you come back, here's $1 million. No. What
was your worst day? Do you remember it? Because I vaguely remember one of mine.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, but like,
mine seems stupid in like hindsight, but in the moment they felt like a lot. There was one day where I changed my hairstyle 3 different days because I kept on getting shit on.
Oh no.
So like I showed up with my hair spiked maybe. Right around gym time or something, I put a mohawk on, or regardless, there was a mohawk involved.
Yeah.
And then there was some other kid with a mohawk.
Yeah.
Faux hawk or whatever the fuck. You know, it's not like I really shaved the sides or anything.
No, it was a faux hawk. It was a movement. It was a thing.
Yeah. I was early on that shit, and it was actually my aesthetic because I was listening to like punk music and shit. This kid just has all of the popular friends. So he starts shitting on me, acting like his faux hawk is better than mine. So then I start kind of being like, nah, like my faux hawk's better. So then what they do is they pretty much, the whole class votes.
Oh, shit.
So now it's literally a popularity contest, which everyone likes that kid more.
Yeah.
So then like that kid gets everyone on his side. They all just start shitting on me. So then I change my hair again. Then they shit on me because I changed my hair. And then like, this was the worst. I got so fucking mad. I'm sitting at my desk and a girl comes by and knocks all of my books off the table.
What the bro? That's what I'm saying. So like, I remember, me and we had this conversation, and I'm like, bro, like, I would much rather get my ass beat than like getting verbally like demolished. Because like, if you beat my ass, like my bruises in my face are gonna heal next week. If you tell me some shit, like I might be dealing with that right now, you know?
Yeah, but
like, I was crazy.
And that was the thing is I got good at I mean, I've always been good at talking, I guess. So like, I wouldn't really be like, what's up, you want to fight? I would just say something mean.
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't think it's good or healthy.
Yeah.
But it's the way I survived.
It was just a defense mechanism. I'm thinking about my worst day.
Because I've also never, like, I wonder how you act like that, because I've never seen you fight.
It was a combination.
But would you...
So, like, I would, like, say stuff. Like, I was witty, too. But, like, I would try to make everybody laugh. To where it was, like... Because I also have this internal thing of, like, I want everybody to like me.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, it was... I would try to make everybody laugh to the point where, like, everybody forgot what was going on. But, no, I mean, there was definitely times where, like... And I don't know, man. Like, there was times where, like, I could have fought and, like, I didn't. But because, like, one, I felt like I was like, all right. 1, 2 things are going to happen if we, like, square up. Because in elementary school, I feel like early in elementary school, I was bullied. Then I got fat. then I realized people couldn't push me around because you're big, so you have all the like. In fifth grade, fourth grade, nobody knows how to fight. So you could punch someone and do some damage, just by being big, you know.
Yeah.
And then so nobody really messed with me then because like I was kind of big. Sixth grade, it was like awkward big. It was like on some like yeah, just like really awkward, really.
Yeah.
Really, just not a good look. Seventh grade, I start growing, so it's like
Evening out.
Yeah, like you lose the baby weight, kind of thing. So then I'm like, oh no, my one defense, and then so like I start getting like witty, but then I realized like, hey, like the last fight I was in, which I didn't want to be in. I thought it was a joke. They come up to me and they were like, it was like eighth grade. These guys come up to me and they're like, "Hey man, like you've been talking to this guy's like, it wasn't his girl. It was like a girl he liked. So now he wants to like beat your ass." And I didn't even know this guy, so I was like, "Yeah man, like I'll kick his ass right now. Like I don't care." He's like, "Bro, he's in the bathroom right now, ready to square up." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like let's do this." And like the whole time I thought we were joking. I was like, I don't even know what girl we're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And then like the dude swings at me, and I was like, oh, that was a real swing. I was like, he's not playing. This isn't a joke. I can't turn this into a. So I'm like trying to figure out ways to like turn it into a joke. So I'm like being like, ooh, you know, like I'm trying to make it funny, and it's not funny. And I'm like, oh no, and like I just had to take a couple L's. Couple hits, and then like everyone was like, like this is fucking weird. What is going on? Eventually, just people lost interest, and it was over.
I mean, yeah, you just make the fight uninteresting.
Yeah. I just made the fight uninteresting. Like I was just trying to like be like, "Yo, make it like we talk this out." Actually, though, like
That's so weird because I'm thinking back, like, what was it, right? Like, I look back at all those people now, and you see like what they've done and how they are, and it's, I'm always curious why someone does that, right? Like, I think back, and maybe because we were in those situations, like, I never have felt like if someone is not as cool as me that I need to like make them feel a certain way about it.
Yeah, no, it's just pure insecurity.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, because that's the thing is like, the only time I ever feel that way towards somebody is if they've given me a reason. Right. And then usually I'm just direct. Yeah. Like, let's just say someone's getting on my nerves. I'll just be like, yo, could you chill the fuck out? It's a lot right now. Mm-hmm. And maybe that might seem shitty to somebody, but I'm not like bullying them or being like, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be like, yo, like just be real. Yeah. And that's just like where I wish certain people were with us. Yeah. Because it's like, what's your thing with me? Like, what is it that, you know what I mean? What is it that's making you feel insecure? Like, what am I doing that's making you think like, I always feel like a lot of my stuff I was never like in sports. I got the fuck out of sports real quick because I knew I was never gonna. I knew I was never gonna be, but that's where I met a lot of people, and I knew I wasn't gonna ever be the sports guy. Yeah. But I always think that I was the everything else guy. I was definitely more creative than a lot of other people when it came to fashion, when it came to music, when it came to writing, and I think like if you didn't feel like you were that, then maybe you were insecure. I don't know though, because it just always seemed like the people that had everything going for them, all of the popular people, all the people that were in all the sports, that seemed to even be getting all the grades, just seemed to have this thing where there was this insecurity, and I don't know what they thought I was going to come and take. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, as I think back on what bullying is, I'm like, what's the goal here? What are you trying to stop me from doing? Yeah. You know?
Sometimes those girls, sometimes, I don't know.
Because, like, I mean, for me, I guess, and it's because of friend groups and stuff like that, like, I do have a thing where, for me, if I'm friends with you or if we're being friendly, I'm roasting you because you're going to roast me back, and, like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make jokes. But that's me of, like, a closeness, and at the end, it's like, yo, you're cool, like, we need a link. Yeah. But, you know what I mean? Other than that, I don't get bullying.
Yeah. No, I don't understand that either. And, like, it literally just comes from a place of hurt and like insecurity, and I think back to like, you know, just like all this shit, like that like, no, not even just that I've done too. That I think back and I'm like, oh man, I hope that kid's doing all right, or like I hope that person's doing okay. Like I regret saying that. Because it's like you don't, like it sucks, man.
I do want to real quick update before we move on. The kid that I was talking all that shit about later on moved to a different state.
Yeah, he did,
and then came back for like a few days and only hit me up and let me know he was back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like we hung out afterwards. Yeah. We were cool and stuff later on. Like I remember everyone like that was skating was like, oh yeah, homeboy came back, and they were like, what? I'm like, well, yeah, he like took off. I mean, I thought he hit everybody up. I don't know. He just hit me up. He was like, yo, I'm outside. Let's like talk and chill for a little bit. And then later on, like bought Kanye merch off me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like when I like picked up all that stuff from that Kanye pop up when he did it at the Galleria.
Yeah.
Like I had posted some stuff and he was like, oh shit, you managed to get that? And like I shipped him some stuff.
That's funny.
Just, like later on in life. So I was like, yeah. I mean, it was all cool, but it's just like when you're in these places, when you're insecure at a young age and like you're trying to figure out what makes you feel confident,
mm-hmm.
I think sometimes you think, oh, being mean gives me power.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This has been like the longest like preliminary.
This is kind of therapeutic though. I like it.
I want to save like a lot of the talk that we had for when we get Jared back in here.
Hey man, don't spoil nothing.
We hope you enjoyed just this episode of us just talking about.
It's not really an official episode. It's really
no. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Tell your Theas, tell your Theos. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow, and please actually just send this episode to someone else who you think would be liking to watch this episode.
Yeah, season 3 coming soon.
Season 3 coming soon. Skits coming back.
And
they're about to be wilder than ever. I'm gonna just. I think we need to lean into wild sketches.
Yeah, bro. We're just going to be in whiteface.
The whole time.
So,
thanks for watching. Check us out next week. We out.